Hello, welcome back to this game. I know it's been a bit, and it's been like, I don't know, 4 months since I made a video, but that's fine. There's pretty much nothing. I mean, there is something I do want to talk about, but it has nothing to do with like video games at all, and honestly should not be talked about on my channel. But you know what? I feel like it needs to be talked about because fucking nobody else does. Because people fucking suck and don't understand exactly what common decency is. And that is that there is a mental health condition called gender dysphoria. Personally, I don't have it, and I don't think I will ever have. Actually, I don't think I should ever have it, mostly because I don't have it now. I'll never have it again. I'll never have it. I'll never have it. But here's the thing. It is a real thing. Psychologists have all agreed that it's a real thing. I'd be wondering, buddy, you're playing a card game with gambling in it. Why are you talking about something so serious? It's because it pisses me off that there are genuine people out there who don't realize that it's real, that it is, and then they say it's made up, despite how often psychology has proven otherwise. Ooh, that is. Oh, I love Canadian money. It looks so nice. And you might be wondering, well, then why the hell are you talking about this? You're just a regular, straight, white guy. Well, maybe straight. I don't want to talk about that. I don't like talking about my sexuality. Gender dysphoria, I could imagine, sucks. I have a friend with it. Like, they have gender dysphoria. I feel so bad for them. They talk about how it literally causes them to want to kill themselves. Which I could just not imagine. Like, I could imagine wanting to kill myself. Like, I imagine that all the time. You can probably hear my mouse butterfly clicking, so I can get through this as quickly as I possibly can, because I really want to not be distracted while I talk about this subject. But it's crazy to me that people genuinely believe that it doesn't exist, and that trans people in general shouldn't exist. Like, it doesn't make sense to me as a concept in the slightest. And then people justify it by justify their hate for it by saying that they're indoctrinating the youth. Oh, the humanity. Oh, it's so bad. Oh, woe is me. Oh, oh no. It's like, come on, man. And you can probably tell this isn't scripted at all, which is fine. I don't even have like rough notes anywhere. But there are so many studies that just prove that it's real. God damn it. And that it is not like for attention, it's not for any type of, what's the word I'm looking for? I think we all know what word I'm looking for, but like it's not for attention. Well, I'm just going to say that. It's not attention seeking. It is a genuine mental health condition. And the people that say it is for attention seeking, like, yeah, there are some that are. And those are called weird, like fucking idiots. That's what I call them, at least. Or they do it specifically so they can profit off of it, which is also really bad. I know many times where that has happened. Like, I bet you there are YouTubers who lie about actually like identifying as trans specifically so they can reach a specific audience and get popular faster. I know that could 100% be real, and yeah, that's a genuine criticism. But that shouldn't like outright make you not respect the community, right? And I know a lot of people who are like, they're indoctrinating you. Yeah, I already said this. But there's so much proof that talking about it with people who don't have gender dysphoria, and talking to it with kids doesn't actually increase the rate of it at all. There's a lot of proof that all it does is bring exposure to it and allow people who have it to express themselves more openly. Which is why it doesn't make sense. And I'm talking about this because one of my uncles said it while they were drunk as fuck, saying that, he made he made a joke about like trans and like Transformers. He made a Transformers joke, involving trans people, which isn't really a problem. I think making jokes about anything should be allowed. I have the South Park mentality. Everything and everything should be made fun of. 100% agreed upon, I think, or at least I hope it is. But, you know, it's really hard to justify making fun of everything. And honestly, him making fun of it was fine. That was not the problem. What he said afterwards was like, God, they fucking indoctrinating our kids, god damn it. And all I can think of when he says that is, the fuck are you talking about? And the reason I keep saying that is because, once again, studies have 100% definitively proven that it's just not true. Because, like, there are people who definitely do. Like, I'm not gonna deny that. But, like, a drag queen going into a school and saying, oh, I'm trans, here's my experience with it, is not going to make your kid, like, become a trans person, if that makes sense to anyone here. It's more realistically just going to instill the fact that they exist. And you can also say the same thing about ADHD. And you might be wondering, the fuck, why did this come up? Well, it's because I've heard many stories where people will talk or like have something different with people that they know are diagnosed with ADHD in class, like with teachers and such. And kids will ask, why did they get a sucker? Or why did they get like extra time on this game? And when someone explains it to a kid, they just understand it so well. And it's kind of crazy. Like, there was this guy I saw online, I might even pull up a picture in editing, who knows, who went down, like, the whole alt-right pipeline, but he always thought trans people should exist. Which is, like, damn, okay. And he said it because one of his friends came out to him as trans, and he was like, and he was just solely accepting of it, because he's like, oh, okay, this makes sense, they're a girl, that just makes sense, like, why shouldn't they be? Like, they were a girl, like, their mindset is a girl, and he thought about it in the conservative way of, oh, yeah, they think like a girl, and we call them girly, so now that they say they're a girl, that's completely valid. And, like, that's sick. That's a really cool way of seeing it. Like, that shows that as a kid, you don't get indoctrinated by being exposed to it at all. It actually shows that you just become more accepting of it. And that's why I hate that they say they're getting indoctrinated by it. And I am not, like I said earlier, I'm not personally trans. I didn't go down the pipeline. I didn't accept that it's a thing. Well, sorry, I did go down like an alt left pipeline at one, like an alt right pipeline at like some point, but it wasn't like that bad. It wasn't really that bad. I watched Andrew Tate. That's really about it. Like, that's pretty bad, but it's not like the worst thing in the world, you know. Like, I also agree with what a lot of conservatives say sometimes, because there are some arguments they do have that do make some level of sense, like, don't force gay people to be gay. Yeah, no shit, Sherlock, but also don't force people to be straight, you know? And that's what we've basically been doing for years. Like, it's the same argument both ways, it just doesn't make sense to me. Right? Like, am I crazy for this opinion? Am I... wrong setting, I think. Like, I feel like I'm not crazy for thinking that. At least I shouldn't be. I feel like I should be more justified for saying that. I can't even buy one of those. What the fuck? I'm gonna purchase one of these, though. But no, I should feel 100% justified for thinking that way. And, oh, okay, cool. I'll check you out in a minute. I lost my train of thought. It's fine. It's probably fine. They're only asking for... Could you do 350 for it? Thank you. That was a steal. Completely worth it. No regrets in the slightest. The people saying that, you know what, we should just stop teaching it in schools are stupid, because it's been proven that not teaching, let's say, Black history in schools causes more racism. That is a historical and proven fact. So how is it not the same way for trans and gay people? I just don't understand. It doesn't make sense to me. Like, how someone can justify like literal, not even like it's not sexism. I mean, it technically is trans and homophobia by saying that it makes them feel weird, basically, and that's where it all really stems from. Is that it makes them feel weird, not any like actual hatred. Most of the time, it's more just like they're disgusted by it. It feels, which isn't really. Like, sure, you can be disgusted. Like, I don't really personally like let's say BDSM, for example. I think that is very weird. It is very, very, very weird. But I don't think that should justify them not existing. I would say the same thing about furries. I think furries, as a community, are really freaky, though. I think, like, the culture of a furry is way weirder than actually just being a furry. Look, I don't know how to explain it without sounding like a furry. You know? But look, I'm a very liberal person. I don't really see like things as I've never really hated people for how they look or anything. I just don't get it. It doesn't make any sense to me. But or like just not liking someone for how they act. I mean, I can like someone for how they act. But the thing is that trans people aren't really normal. Like, there are a lot of dickhead trans people. Trust me, I've known a couple. But that has never, like, having one bad experience with a black person does not make you racist because you hate that one black person, right? So if you hate that one trans person, does not mean you should hate all trans people, if that makes sense. I can't really explain it. I feel like I'm just rambling to the choir right now, because I'm just talking into a mic by myself in my own room about this instead of like to a friend or something. But when I talk to a friend about it, a lot of my like IRL friends would not even let me talk about this at all, because most of them are either they're like slightly conservative, because I live in like a very conservative part of Canada, and you might be wondering, Canada conservative? This makes no sense. You're right, and it's just something I have to deal with. It's very annoying. It's very annoying. Like, please help me. Like, I'm not used to having to like just pray to God or like whoever the fuck exists in this world and say, "Yo, can you make my people around me just nicer, please?" And then I get the YOLO, haha, no loser, lol, or whatever answer, and I'm like, well, fuck you too, I guess. That's how every day just kind of feels when I talk to people and I've had a full-on argument with my friend over like trans rights and why they shouldn't exist, and like they were saying like they shouldn't exist, or it was more just like, no, you shouldn't be able to switch your gender as a kid, which I fully agree with. Kids make really stupid decisions. Like, trust me, I'm a child. I make some of the stupidest decisions ever. Like, some of my friends recently climbed up my high school building in the middle of the night and smoked weed. Like, what the fuck? Like, I'm not saying teenagers aren't idiots. Like, yeah, they should not have gender-defining surgery. But, like, with what Trump did with him banning, like, he full-on banned, if I remember correctly, was, gender-reaffirming not gender-reaffirming surgery. That wasn't the problem. It was, he banned hormone-related therapy when it came to trans people specifically. And yeah. But, like, here's the thing. I agree. Maybe we shouldn't have hormone therapy in children. Sure. Then maybe take it out of the cows, because they're the same hormones that you guys be drinking every day. You guys are literally drinking the same hormones you just inject into yourself to make you sound more feminine. Also, the thing with hormone therapy is that it has no known repercussions for like medical issue afterwards. And it's reversible. That's what makes it even weirder to me, is that it's completely reversible, yet we still banned it. So if someone doesn't like it, or someone realizes they weren't trans the whole time, and they were lying to themselves, well, here's the thing. If they're an adult, that's their own choice and their fucking fault. It's not my fault they're immature. But if they're a teenager, yeah, well, here's the thing. Keeping them restricted to specifically hormone therapy, I think, is the right thing to do. And I think that 16 should be the year you're allowed to do hormone therapy. Or 14. 14 to 16. Either way. Both are, like, the minute you hit high school is more my take, but I think it's better to be a little bit more conservative on it. I'm very I know I'm extremely liberal and I have really weird, like, just wrong beliefs on a lot of things, if that makes sense. Like, I know for a fact what I'm probably saying makes no sense, like, 90% of people. Because, oh, that's a good fucking card, let's go! But, yeah, that's the last gambling of the day. Oh well, so back to the whole thing. And, like, to round it up, trans people exist and deserve to exist, and I just don't understand why people hate them. And I feel like that really shouldn't be a bad topic. Oh my god, I forgot a point. The Charter of Rights. Yes, the Charter of Rights and Freedoms in Canada. And in the United States, the First Amendment, the right to freely express oneself. By restricting it, it kind of fundamentally ignores the First Amendment, if I remember correctly. Which is weird. And I'm going to talk about, like, Charlie Kirk at another time, because I never really got to talk about that at all, because I was distracted. But, what the fuck? But basically, it doesn't make sense, because restricting it also restricts the First Amendment, and I'm Canadian. It would restrict our Charter of Rights and Freedoms, which completely allows the right to do that to anyone, unless under a state of emergency, which I wouldn't really say what's happening is a state of emergency. But that's really my thoughts on it. But that's it. Closing out Brain Dead. Trans people should exist and should have the right to exist. Hormone therapy is for 14 to 16. I haven't made my mind fully up on that yet. And I think my family's full of idiots. Okay? Okay. Good day. Damn, I made no money.